Evening. I hope you guys are cool. For some reason I've got my angle cross-eyed. Yeah. So I think it's about time I respond to the Q and A that I did a few weeks ago. I've had a few questions, 6 or 7, maybe 8. I'm on count right now. So we'll start at the top. So Anne on Facebook has asked, what is the what is the hardest style of music you have tried? Well, I've tried playing, metal, hardcore punk, metalcore. It's probably the hardest style. Obviously I'm happiest with the grunge and sort of standard rock, most comfortable with it, but I do like to experiment. That's hardest in terms of heaviness. Hardest to play, well, I'll try to play some prog every now and then and get really confused and then stop. So, but yeah, right, next question. Weezmeister on YouTube. As an artist, who is your biggest musical influence and what was your first album that you bought? Okay, my biggest musical influence these days, I'd say it's a lot of the Seattle bands I didn't listen to quite so much in my teenage years, so Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Hole. Then, what was your first album that you bought? In terms of first album overall, I think it was the Spice Girls. The first rock album I had was Nirvana Nevermind. That was given to me by my brother when I was 13, and then the actual first rock album that I bought was In Utero. So, going back to influences, my biggest original influence was Nirvana, and then it sort of became the Foo Fighters, and now it's sort of the other stuff. And I take a lot of influence off of a lot of different things as well. Everything from your 80s pop to prog, just sort of love whatever. As you can hear, it's raining. I thought I'd do the video outside, nice evening, like I did with the one asking you to send your questions in. And it started to rain and thunderstorm just to come out here, so you guys might see a few flashes and hear a few bangs. It's all gravy. I'm now soaked. Right, okay. So, the next question. Stuart Brown on YouTube. Am I your best Hair Bear brother? You're my only Hair Bear brother. There's no one else. And also, you then ask, who is your favourite Formula 1 driver of modern times? I'd say it depends what you class as modern times. I mean, to me, I still feel the 90s and 2000s are modern, so for me it has to be Michael Schumacher. I think he's the best ever. But if you're talking about, who's currently racing, it's got to be Lewis. He's an absolute genius. Not on the same level as Michael, in my view, but, the very next best thing and a worthy successor. Hook on YouTube. Why does an octave meaning 8 only have 7 notes? See, I don't agree with you on this. To me, as a guitarist, an octave has 12 notes because you've got the, all the sharps as well. So, yeah, all there's the lightning. So yeah, I always include like the sharps and stuff because you can do a lot with them. So, yeah. What's that one? Lewis James Mortimer on Facebook. What's the secret behind these abundant curls? There's not really. I washed my hair today, so I look less of a bum than on the days that I don't wash it. But they're just natural. They're just sort of how they are, really. Ricky on Facebook. Name all of the members of Wu-Tang Clan. RZA, GZA, Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, Inspector Deck, U-God, Master Killer, and then Capadonna came along a little bit later. And I did Google it because I didn't have a clue. So I could have named you like 2 or 3 members of NWA, but yeah, without Googling Wu-Tang, I had no idea. So the rain's getting heavier again, and we're on to the last question, which is from Ed on Facebook. He's seen me since then, and he said it was a joke, but I'm going to try to answer it seriously because I might as well. How do you feel about the pedestrianisation of Norwich city centre? Well, as a pedestrian, it's great, because you haven't got to worry about where lorries and buses are coming from. As a driver, it can be a bit of a turn off, and I think that it's all about going green, and if people are serious about us going green in the long run, then we need things that are affordable to the peasants, and good quality incentives. So, at the moment, you're not going to get a second-hand, eco-friendly car for, what is in the price of most people's budgets. So, it's going to take a time. I'm sure they'll come up with a second-hand market eventually, but it's going to take a while. So, but yeah, they did something really silly in the city, which was when they, on the run-up Rose Lane to the Castle Mall, they put in this bus lane. It's going all across, and you had to cross it to get into the Castle Mall car park, which was really annoying because you had to then cross loads of buses and taxis, and it was, I think, A, quite dangerous, and B, you just get hooted a lot by people behind you for trying to turn into somewhere that you were perfectly allowed to turn in. So I think it's good that they've sort of had another rejig now and put a car park lane in there. Seems to make more sense. How they didn't think the original bus lane through in the first place, I have no idea, but that tends to be what councils do, doesn't it? So right, so we've come to the end. Hope you've enjoyed the few flashes of lightning that we've had, and I might chill here for a bit, because if I go into the house, I'm going to look like I've been for a swim. So, but yeah, have a good evening, enjoy your August, and enjoy your holidays if you're on holiday, and I'll catch you guys soon. Right, good evening, bye.